Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Evil Mage, and today I am back in Railroads Online. We have filled up the sawmill, but I need a little bit more money to buy the next engine that I want. So, we will jump in here, and we're going to head back to the logging camp. And we'll just run the loop from the logging camp to the outpost here. I'll give you a chance to see the other part of my rail line, some of the other stuff I've been working on. So let's get going. You can kind of see my rail yard going over there. That's where I'm going to park all of my cars, for now anyway. And this is going to loop around the end of them and come back out the other side of the depot. Whatever you want to call it. It's a nice open valley. It's a very open radius turn here. It's like 120 meter. It might get down to 90. I don't know, but it's pretty open. It's a nice high-speed turn, so I shouldn't need to worry about derailing on this, even after they increase the speed. They've started raising some of the speed limits on some of the engines, but not all of them. And the cars are still limited to 17 kilometers an hour, so can't really go fast yet anyway. Hopefully that'll get fixed soon. I know they're working on it. But here's where it hooks back up to the other side of the depot. Come around the corner here, you'll see my Firewood station, so I can keep my trains running. In fact, I think we're going to stop here because I'm getting really low on wood here on the side. So, we'll fill it up and then we'll head off to the loop. I'm going to take a little from each pile so that it'll be full again pretty soon. But you don't have to. You can take it all off of one pile if you want. Just takes longer to fill up, I think. Wow, these are filling up really fast now. Okay. Interesting. Should be getting pretty close to full here. I think we wasted a couple of those. That's okay. They fill up quick. Not a big deal. Just got to bring cordwood over every once in a while. I think it's cordwood. It might be logs. I don't really know, but we'll figure it out. If it's cordwood, though, I need different train cars. The soundtrack in this game is really cool, but I don't really want to get copyright dinged for playing music I don't have rights to. Otherwise, I would be just letting the soundtrack take care of this for a little bit. But since I'm not sure if I'd get in trouble for that or not, you'll just have to listen to me talk. Kind of bothers me that these two tracks, like, part of it is parallel and part of it's not. If it was all parallel or all not, I don't think it would bother me, but it changes partway through, so I might have to work on that a little bit. That might change between episodes. Coming up here. I don't know. It doesn't look bad, it just bothers me for some reason. With the limited parts we have, I'm not sure I'll be able to fix it. I want to see if maybe the 45 pre-angle crossovers will let me bring these two lines together somewhere and just have a crossover instead of a bunch of switches that I have to worry about. But I'm not sure if that'll work either, so that's another thing that might change coming up. I don't know if I'm going to show all the rail work for the fine-tuning anyway in a video. Like, if I build a new section, I'll probably show that. But just little tweaks and reworks, I don't know if I will. If you'd like to see that, though, I can do that. Just let me know in the comments. Alright, so we're almost up to the top of the hill here. And I'm just turning around for the log camp. Look at that timing. Alright, that was a good stop. We should be able to load from there. Get the cranes running. It shouldn't take too long to load up here. Alright, all loaded up and ready to head back. So, this game takes place in like the late 1800s, until with the old mechanical cranes and things like that. So you don't make a whole lot of money from the loads, but stuff's not very expensive either, so you can still progress fairly quickly. I have it on medium or normal economic difficulty or whatever it is. Both of the two settings. So it shouldn't be too much of a grind to get from episode to episode here. That's a pretty good downhill. It's like 2 or 3%, I think, somewhere in that range. So I pretty much just coast down it, and then right about here I kick the engines back in. We're actually still coasting pretty good, so I'm letting it go a little long this time. Alright, now we're going uphill again, so I definitely needed more regulator. It's pretty shallow, I think it's like 1%. It's nothing big, but it is uphill, so. Just till we get up here level with the other side of the track. At first, before I had the sawmill tied in, I had both of these set as parallel the whole way, so they were both bridges. But, unfortunately, there's no, like, switches on bridges or crossovers with bridges or any of that stuff. So, if you want to tie in multiple lines, it has to be on the ground. Which, I guess is okay, but it would be nice, or it would be nice to have shorter switch lengths and maybe switches on bridges. At least like crossovers, so that you can have parallel lines on one bridge with some crossovers between them occasionally. That would be cool. We don't even have like actual... We have 90-degree and 45-degree crossings, but we don't have like two-way crossover switches where you can switch from one line to the other and back in the same length. That would be cool to have too. Alright, we flew past the Firewood station. Coming up on the depot here. We have a full load, so we'll have to hit the brakes pretty early. Probably right about where these two switches are. Alright. Are we gonna stop too quickly or not in time? This might actually work pretty well. We might be too soon. Had to play with the brake a little bit to extend it out a little further, but there we go. That is the depot to the sawmill loop. We'll have to run this a few more times. And I'd like to buy a new train in this episode. At least a new engine. If I'm gonna make runs to like the iron mine or to the smelter, which would be the next step in the progression, I don't think the Betsy's gonna handle that, especially if I want to do longer trains. Some of those cars get really heavy, especially the cordwood. I don't think Betsy here could pull 4 cordwood cars. We'll set up another loop here. So, we're back at the cranes. I've seen and heard a lot of people commenting that they would rather have like a one button click that would just load the 6 pieces. And I kind of agree that would be nice. It would save a lot of time. The thing I'm not sure about though is sometimes these cranes don't load where you think they're going to load. If you don't line up in the right way, like this front crane, sometimes if I were 3 feet further forward, maybe 5, I don't know, the front crane could be loading where the back crane is right now. So I'd be off a whole car. If like a foot of the log reaches back onto this back car in that gap right there. See, if I were 5 feet further forward, I'd risk that loading in the second car instead of the first. And that would really suck to have it load all 6 that way. Because then you'd have to move the train around, you know. You'd have to let it load the 6, back up and run the 1 crane, because you've been loading the middle 2 cars. So you'd have to pull back, load the front car with one of the cranes, and then pull forward and load the back with those cranes, or with 1 crane. So you'd have to adjust your train twice instead of just once if it starts to load in the wrong spot. Although, I guess to fix that, you'd need to do that anyway, wouldn't you? I don't know. Except this way, you're only waiting for, the 1 log loads, and okay, it's wrong. So I can back the train up and not have to wait for it to fully load and then adjust. So, I don't know. In the end, you'd probably come out the same way either way as far as time-wise. Because instead of clicking the cranes once, you'd have to click, I don't know. It's probably a wash. Although when you do line up correctly, the 6 logs with 1 click would be way faster. Although it'd be kind of boring just sitting here watching the, just doing the 1 click on each crane, and then you're just sitting there waiting till you can drive off. So this at least keeps you from getting bored. Alright, 1 more log on each crane. And we're all set. Off we go again. Alright, so we'll do brake off, regulator forward. As soon as the load gets onto the hill, though, turn the engine off, get the regulator all the way off again, and just coast. Unfortunately, it won't save the fuel number there. For some reason, the fuel burns at the same speed, no matter how hard or little you're working the engine. Like, when the engine's working and you've got a draft, you would normally burn more fuel. When it's not working and it's just sitting there burning and it's not, there's no load to be moved, the fuel would normally burn slower. I don't know, maybe they'll fix that at some point. Back up the hill. Alright, so the train that I want, I think I want the Cook 260. It's got a really good tractive effort. You can pull a lot of stuff, but it's still a regular non-geared train. So when they raise the speed limits, it's going to be a long ride. The geared trains are going to be a lot slower, and pretty much just for climbing hills. The Cook 260 and the other Cook, actually, those have like really big tractive effort without the gears. They can pull a lot, but they're still quick. So those are the ones I want to go for. One's like 4,300 and the other's like 4,900 stock. Probably a Ford for 260, 4,300 with this load. But if I want any kind of customization on it, I don't think I have enough for those. And since you can't customize something after the fact, you can't change any part of the train once you've bought it at all. So probably run one more loop just to make sure I have enough money for what I want here. Alright. Ooh. Came in a little quicker this time. Are we gonna stop in time? I think we'll be fine. We'll just start unloading. Yeah. Alright. We'll unload that one. One more car. Okay. So, where are we at? Yeah, okay. One more loop. Because I want a slightly different stack. And I don't know, I might go with a different light than the normal one on the 260. That's going to cost me a little extra. So we'll do another loop here. And we'll go by the train. I've only played this in single player, but I have noticed I haven't derailed once. And I've pushed some of the cars pretty quickly here around some corners without any effect. So I'm wondering if the physics is different in multiplayer. Because I've watched some other YouTubers play this game, and I've seen a lot of derailments. So Hopefully these tracks are still good if I go into multiplayer, assuming the physics is part of that cause. I don't know. I'm also not on very difficult track yet. It's pretty flat, most of it. Got some corners that are beyond the 60 meter. Get kind of tight, but they haven't been an issue yet, so. I'm also only on the Betsy, so I'm limited to 17 for the cars, so that's good. Unless I'm going downhill. But my big downhill leaving the log camp, there's not many corners on it either, so that probably helps. That one corner at the bottom of that, though, is like... No, I think that's still 90. It might be 120. I really like the winter look in this game. Makes it hard to lay track. The look of it's really good. For some reason in the summer, some of the ground plants, just the grass and the flowers and stuff, they don't look quite as sharp. Like the trees in the winter look really good. The trees in the summer look really good too. But some of the flowers in the summer, they don't look nearly as detailed. They still look good, but like, they don't look nearly as detailed. See, looking down that right there, this is the part of the track that kind of bothers me. It was parallel for a long, long time, and then all of a sudden, it's not parallel. But it has to do with the switches I had to use. If I could clean up this crossover here, make it happen quicker, with shorter switches or whatever, I could make that track work a lot nicer. From the ground level, the crossover on the uphill doesn't quite right to me. But I'm not sure there's enough space in there to use the 45-degree crossovers. That looks more like a 25 or 30-degree cross that I would need in that area. So I don't know, maybe we'll get variable angles at some point. That might be asking a lot, though. This is, I think, a fairly small dev team. No Heis, YouTuber Heis, works with the dev team on this game a lot. Alright, I also want to clean this up a little bit. Here where these rejoin, I wish I could just go straight. It's not bad from the side I came on, but coming back up from the sawmill, it's like S-bends. And if I've got a long car, or long train, lots of cars, or if there's anything loaded on them, like if I'm coming back from somewhere, I've got a mix of loads. That S might be enough to cause a derailment there, so I'm going to try and clean it a bit too. spent like 16 hours laying track just to get this set up, and it looks good, but there's a few little things that I wish I could do better. Alright. Last set of loads. Stopped way too soon there. Alright. So we'll pull forward. Huh. That might load too far back. I think I'm going to back up just a little bit, just to make sure I don't load on the second and third car instead of the first and second here. I think there I should be okay. Some of the sounds in this game are awesome. There's a few little sounds sometimes at full reg on some trains. There's like this little whine, and maybe it's really there in real life, in which case, cool, good for the immersion. But if it's not, it kind of bothers me a little. Everything else though, like the wood cutting sounds and the crane sounds and just the coasting cars, sounds so good to me. Alright, 2 more logs and then move forward. Alright, so we'll hop back in here. And we'll pull forward a little bit. Oh, not backwards. Come on. Brakes on. Regulator back. Okay. This little stone track piece here is so helpful lining up these back cars. So glad I did that. I wish they had flags. I know a lot of people have asked. I agree. I want flags too. Please, devs, please. But we'll make that work for now until they figure that out. I have the train cars facing different directions. Like the brakes are on opposite ends and stuff. And that's why these load up differently. It took me a while to figure out why they didn't load in the same order, and then it hit me. They are loading in the same order. They're just facing the other direction. See? That one loaded on the far side, but that's the same side of the car. Just a little OCD observation I figured I'd share with you. I want to fix the cars, put them in the right order and all facing the same way. But I don't know, maybe I'll get to it at some point. I probably won't do it on video. It's not very exciting. Although if you play this game, you're probably kind of over the two areas I'm at anyways. Even these might be boring to some people. I actually started this game because of some other YouTubers I watched playing it, so. Maybe this will pique some of you guys' interest, if it hasn't already. Pretty much everything I've posted on my channel so far has been like heavy equipment and driving, things like that, like the truck sims and SnowRunner and the railroad stuff. I do play a lot of city builders. I don't know, maybe I might play some of those on the channel at some point. I also play like Farm Sim. That might fit with what I'm doing now. Some of you guys might like Farm Simulator. I've put a couple videos on, and then I found glitches in the maps I chose to run that made the series, the things I wanted to do in the series, not work well for that map. So that's why I deleted the ones that were up. I might try again if I find a map I really like, or if I find a concept for a playthrough that I want to run through on something. Maybe we'll get some Farm Sim running. I might bring some other, like some city builders onto the channel. We'll see. Like Furthest Frontier, they've been working on a lot of updates in their early release. The game's getting better, getting there. I played Timberborn. I'd like to play, I don't know, maybe I'll play some Timberborn on the channel, see what you guys think. I don't want to play too many games at once on the channel. I don't know. I don't think I could keep updating each series often enough if I spread myself through too many games early. But at the same time, like, to prevent burnout, to keep me interested in playing, I like to play a diverse set of games. I have like 100 games on my Steam library, and I have Xbox Game Pass that I play a ton of games on. And I tend to jump from game to game a lot when I'm playing just for myself. And I can't decide if I should post all those games and just, I don't know. Can't decide if I should post them all or if I should just focus the channel on certain games. But like I said, I sometimes tend to get bored with games and have to take a break. So I feel like at some point I would still need to play those other games just to keep my own sanity. I don't know. I haven't decided what all I'm going to play on the channel. Although, maybe if I'm having fun, it'll make the videos more entertaining for you guys. So, maybe I'll just play a little everything and post it all. If you guys like the videos, great. I'll try not to go too long between videos of each series, you know. If I can post one a week or something, I don't know. Just things I'm thinking about. Anyways, the last load here. We've got our money. Let's run over here. We can buy the train from anywhere, but this is where it's going to put it anyway. So let's go over here. I'll show you the new train I'm going to buy. Should pop up right over there. So, locomotives. We'll flip through to the Cook 260 here. There we go. 11,000. I think the Betsy has number 1 on it, so we'll put number 2 on here. I don't know what I want to name it. It's a Cook 260. I could call it Cookie. I don't know. Alright, this is taking me forever. I can't decide what to name this. Come on. We'll just call it Cookie, I guess. And then the name of my railway is Evil Steel. So we'll put that on the tender. Do we have room for Evil Steel railways? I don't know if we do. No, it's hanging over. Okay, so we'll back that up and just put Evil Steel. That's what's on the train cars too, so we'll leave that. Alright, so which stack? I kind of like that one. I like that one too. I don't really like the middle one. And the 2 headlight boxes. Kind of depends on which stack I use. For the bigger stack, I kind of like the big box. That box. That looks good. Or I could do the standard of both. I don't like that for some reason. Don't really like that either. I don't know. That looks okay though. I don't know. The light doesn't make sense with having the big fat top on it with the narrow stack. We'll just go with the big ones and hopefully it doesn't screw up the camera, the views. Yep. Alright. So anyways, that's the new train I'm going to buy. I think I'm going to call this episode here. There they are. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. And feel free to subscribe to keep up with this or any of the other games I'm posting. I hope to see you in the next episode, and have a wonderful day. Can I afford any of the... Nope, can't afford a cordwood car. Alright, so anyway, see you next time. Bye-bye.